Om Ashato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasho Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Avir Avir Maedhi Rudro Jatte Dakshinang Mukham Te Namang Pahi Nityam Te Namang Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality, and evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are back to our reading on the Shanti Gita, the Song of Peace. Bhagavan Krishna is answering to the question. We are in the chapter 5 and we'll read today from verse number 8. So this is the chapter started with the question by Arjuna. He was asking about the Brahmagyanis, knowers of truth. So what is the duty of a knower of truth? And what is which they should perform, what they should not do, what is their special signs, to ask about that question. And simply in the very first verse, Bhagavan Krishna responded, there is no kartabbo, duty to be performed, or there is no prohibition that you cannot do this, you can do that. The actions and prohibitions, nasti, no. For whom? Tattvavidam, those who are realized soul, who have known the truth, tattva, because they are akarta. There is no ego sense in them, and they are always remaining in the Brahman consciousness. Therefore, they are freed from the and the action. And even the Vedas, which is the controller, all our duties, actions, the Vedas suggested, no? The rishis have designed how the society will run. But Vedas have no authority on the knower of truth, because knower of truth has gone beyond Veda. Veda Prabhu Naivo. And therefore there is no prohibition and assertion on them, because Swayam Brahma Brahmananda, Sadananda, these people, they live all the time in the blissful state, in the blissful, absolute bliss state, and in that supreme reality, all the time they stay. Therefore, they have no interest in your actions of the world which is tempting, or they are not afraid to get out of the objects of the senses, whether it is auspicious or inauspicious, because there is no duality. No, we do, this is auspicious, I will do it. This is inauspicious, no, I won't do it. But for Brahmagyanis, there should not be any such rule, because they don't see auspicious and inauspicious. It's all one. If it is one, whom to reject, whom to accept? That question does not go. Therefore, we see that they do some work, but they don't have to suffer or enjoy the fruits of their action. Actionless, egoless person doing anything, the effect of karma does not bother them, does not hit them, does not touch them. Phalam and phalabhoga, there is the result and its experience. Result means I did something bad karma, I get a reaction. and I suffer for that. Or I did something good, I feel good. I have done something. Because I have ego. But these people, because they are egoless and they are really floating in the, swimming in the ocean of consciousness and joy, so there is no such do's and don'ts. For them, it does not apply. Then, what happens? We see they have the body. They have the body, they also breathe like us, prana. They have the mano, the mind also. They talk, they express something. They have their buddhi, intelligence, chitta, memory. They also say, Latu Maharaj. We are reading during night time reading. Latu Maharaj is Brahmajnani. But he's talking about the memories, past memories. Oh, Ramakrishna's time, this happened, that happened. Uh, so all these are there. Indriyam, their sense organs also working. Eyes, ear, hand, feet. And Daiva and Vasana. But they by good luck, things happen in life. And desire is the prompting force for us. For all these association, karma is possible. But because he is Jnani, he is Sarvam Vichareno, he has given up, discarded everything by analysis. I am not the body, not the prana, not the mana, not the intellect, not the memory, not the ego, not the sense organs, and I am not guided by any desire. I have no desire. I have nothing to attain. I have nothing to gain. No, because of all these, the karma is not possible. Karma to be possible for us, we should have a body. We should have the prana. Life breath should be there. There should be mind functioning in that body, no? Intelligence should be, a buddhi, intellect should be functioning. A memory should be functioning, ego should be functioning. Sense organs should be helping him to do the work. And vasana, desire. I want this, that's why they will work. If there is no desire, who is going to work for anything? No one goes to grocery shop unless they have the needs of some food to be prepared. No one goes for eating unless he is hungry. For every type of action, there should be some desire. But they have no desire because they are established in the self. Therefore, karma is not sambhava, possible for them. Jnani, sarvam, Jnani had their body, their mind, their action, their memory, all are there. But vichareno, by analysis, dirasya, they have discarded them, knowing that these are all matter. These are matter, they get animated by what? By consciousness. And they live in the Sarupa, in their eternal self, which is Satchidananda, which is of the nature of consciousness and bliss. And Vishranta, and they get rested there, Advayatataha, in that Advaya, non-dual state. Now, last verse 7 we read last time. Karmaleshu bhavitnasya niskriyatmataya jate. It says, last we read that, verse number 7. There cannot be any trace of karma done by them because they are free from niskriyataya. They are niskriya. They don't do anything. Their body does. Their mind does. But they know I don't do it. Its body is functioning. No? It's a physical, anatomical structure. It acts and reacts. No? So it is a spontaneous action of the action and reaction of the body, but I am not involved into it. Tassaiva phalabhoga, that's why there it's enjoyment of the fruits of action. Sat, karma kritam bhavit. They only can enjoy who thinks I am doing this to have this effect. No? So he can enjoy or he can be frustrated if that result is not achieved. No? But a Brahmajnani, no, he is not affected by that. So we read up to this 7 verse. 8th verse, today we are starting there. Verse. Sharire satijat karma, Sharire satijat karma, Bhavati iti prapasyasi, Bhavati iti prapasyasi. Ahamkarascha sabhasaha, Ahamkarascha sabhasaha, Karta bhokta atra karmanaha, Karta bhokta atra karmanaha. Then the naturally question comes, who enjoys them? Who is the person who enjoys? You say they live in that consciousness, they don't experience any bad effect or good effect, but their body is doing the karma. And who enjoys? Body enjoys? The senses enjoy? No. It is the sabhasa karta, ahankara. Ahankara, ego, when reflected in the consciousness, what happens? In the ego, Atman is reflected. In the water, in a jar. The water has no shining nature of its own. But if the water, the sun in the sky gets reflected, the water becomes as if full of light. Therefore, think that ego is like a reflecting media. Consciousness of the absolute reflects there. Ahankara, ego, it has no power. It cannot do anything. It is jada. But it becomes active when you say, I do, I will work, I will attend this, I will reject this, I will fight out this. All this is coming. So, who is the worker here? Ahamkara, in the ahamkara, sabhaso, the abhaso, the reflection of consciousness which is in the I, ego, there is the reflection that is called the light. Very important point to understand.
Isn't the ego just an idea? It's not an actual thing. Isn't it just an idea?
It is very fine level. In the final level, this is also, but it is maybe fine, but it is in the level of the matter. It is not the consciousness. It is that you take the Sankhya idea. Sankhya philosophy, see, you put a pot and then put water, then pour some rice, pour some potato, pour some other items. No? Now, if the heat is here, if the heat is not there, there will be no action in the pot. So first the pot gets heated, is it not? The pot gets heated and then it transmits that heat to the water. And then water transmits that heat to the potato, to the rice, to the element. And then you touch them and there you find that it is, what is this one?
Water.
Oh, water. Sit. Okay. But heat is not the nature of the pot. Consciousness is like a heat, you can think that. That is reflected. It is not reflected. This example does not say it is reflected, but it transmitted. And if the pot is not heated, your water will not be heated. If your ego is not lighted by the consciousness, then behind the ego pot, there is water. The example I have given. So here is the ego, buddhi, intellect. Intellects get heated. And then it transmits its heat to the mind. Mind transmits its heat to the breathing, prana, energy, and that transmits to the body. Therefore, you see, body is shining, body is moving, but it is not. It comes to the brain. We call the sit in the back. What is it here? Three, four line before. Go behind. Yeah. Spread out a little bit. Yeah. So that is the point. Here the example is giving that the ego is the cause where the consciousness gets reflected. So Ramakrishna gave the example. It is called the jivas. Who are the jivas? Reflected consciousness. Reflected consciousness. Consciousness is consciousness. The sun is sun. But this pot becomes shining. There you find a reflected sun.
So what is the pot in this
Pot is the body.
body? But why
Body.
in ego?
So, body is not only body, we have to look at that. What are the things? Body is here, the pranic energy is there, mind is there, intellect is there, ego is there. All together is a human personality.
Right.
But these appear shining, that means active, conscious.
Yeah,
My
the
eyes are blinking, ears are hearing. These are because not of its intrinsic nature. It has been borrowed. It has been reflected. It is reflected by, as Ramakrishna's example, 10 pot example, and put water, and you see 10 sun, 11 sun you see, no? One sun in the sky, and 10 reflected sun. Each pot, you find one sun, no? But the sun, that reflected sun is not real sun. It is reflected because you have a pot, because you have a body, because you are thinking, you have a mind. Therefore, the reflection is there. But who has no idea of I, then that means the pot is broken. Pot is broken, the one reflection is gone. They are called the Brahmogyanis, the knower of truth. Knower of truth, there is no ego. And there is no ego. So body is body. So many bodies are there. I'm not concerned with that. My body, I am not concerned about it. There is no body for me. If that experience one can get, then he has no karma. Karma is done by what? By body, mind, emotions, ego, intellect. We all do work in this level. But if someone is so blessed that he has no contact with the body and he does not feel I am the body, mind, I am my intelligence. So if that I is gone from him, then he is no doer. The people who are crazy, whose brain is totally gone, what they do not know. That's why they are not punished much, because they do not know. The children who have no ego sense developed, what they do, they are not punishable. If the child, really innocent child, does not know anything and did something which may have harmed someone, because he has the hand, his hand works, he is functional, but he has no ego I sense. So that's why it is said, Sharire Swatijat karma, in this body, that karma, jat karma, that actions, jat bhavati iti, it is happening in the body of a king, knower of truth. Say Christ is working, Buddha is working, Ramakrishna is working. You see that they are working. They are walking in the street. They are giving sermon. But they do not know that they are doing I. When I say, I am speaking, I read this book, I know that I'm using my intellect. But they have no sense of intellect or ego or pride or anything. That's why God speaks to them. People say, God speaks to them. So that is the message comes that even it says, even Islam, they say Quran, it is Allah's message. It came through his mouth. So that means if idea is that they have no ego like us, and if there is ego, that is not Allah's message because it is filtered through your buddhi, your intellect, your ego. It is getting diluted or what do you call? Uh, it is misconceived. It gets clouded. So that is not God's message. See, Swami Vivekananda. In 1893, the Parliament of Religions, he was in the old big gathering of 7,000 people. And the first session, his name was there, Vivekananda. He said, okay, I will speak in the second session. You're seeing, my God, what is happening. And every speaker has prepared a long note, pages after pages like this, and they are giving sermon. Huh? But everyone is sleeping in the lecture, as we all do. Because there is no charm, there is no light, there is no spirit in that. No? And second time when he has been declared, then also he has no note or preparation. He just stood up and said, I remembered Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and saluted her and stood up. And what he said, I said, I do not know. That means someone is speaking through that instrument. Their ego is like a child's ego. Not childish, but childlike. So that is the point. If anyone can do that, that person will be free from karma. So he says, Sarire, in the body, Satijat karma, that karma what is happening, Bhavati, it is happening, iti pasasi, you see that in the body of Christ, in the body of Ramakrishna, in the body of Buddha, some they are doing so much activity. Ahankaras, you see, it is only a reflection. Apparently you are seeing, but internally he is disconnected. And what is happening? Ahankarascha sabhaso karta bhokta atra karma. So their ego is performing, their mind is performing, their hand is performing, but not he. And what is ego? It is a reflection of the same. As I give the example just now, in a jar, there is a sun, original sun, and its reflection. So that reflected ego says, I am doing everything. So it is called the theory of, it is called the Kivad. Bimbo Pratibimbovad. This is a philosophy in Vedanta. It is called the Bimbo. Bimbo is the source, the real sun. Only one sun is there. And Pratibimbo, the reflection. So we are all reflection. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are all one reflection. And here we have consciousness. I'm talking. You are hearing. You are sitting. No? So you have a body. You are seeing to be some reality. But these are all conscious because of the consciousness reflected from the original sun of knowledge. And that is the Atma. So there, ahankarascha sabhasa karta bhukta iti karmana. So who does this karma? Who has the ego sense, and it is reflected in that ego, that consciousness that gives the relative consciousness. We are aware of everything. This is not the awareness of the hand. The hand is not a sentient being. Hand is perceived by some consciousness. And that consciousness is the real conscious entity reflected into ego. So you have to understand, we have 5 layers of covering over the reality. One is look at that. This is the physical body. This physical body behind is that energy body. Energy. You eat calorie. This is that. People say, oh, I am becoming weaker. Huh? Why you are becoming weaker? Your energy level is getting down. So the energy, that is called the prana in Sanskrit. This is called the anna, deha, body. Body has its energy behind. Then, when at the point of death, what happens? All the energy level goes down. Then the feet starts being cold. Why? The energy which is kept it warm, the bloodstream, behind the bloodstream, that is getting cold. So, anna, prana. And behind that is my mind functioning. But mind is not self-illumined. It has no power of its own. It borrows the light from its boss inside. He is a higher boss. There's a buddhi, intellect. And intellect also borrows his light from ego. I. See, I am the first person, and then I have my buddhi, intellect, I have my mind, I have my energy body. I don't find energy nowadays. People say, no, that I is there. His energy. So it is reflected, and goes down and down and down, comes to the body. So someone is walking. It's the energy manifesting. But this body, dead body cannot walk. Why the dead body does not walk? Why the dead body does not see? There is eyes, there is ear, he does not hear. Why? Because the energy is withdrawn from there. And where the energy came, prana, it came from mind. Mind is withdrawn. People don't keep their body. When they die, mind is not in the body. So going back, ego, that ego is also not acting here. It goes into the subtle level. So detachment automatically happens to the body.
Isn't ego just conscious, identified with the mind? It gets identified with
Ego always gets identified with something or other.
Something.
Yeah, always.
But if it's not identified, if it's back and now identified with that.
Yeah, normally for us, ego is always identified with mind sometime, with sometime ego, intelligence.
Yeah.
We say, do you know? I know this. What do you say? I know. Identifying with intellect. It is my intuition. That means you're talking in your mind. Your mind, I remains and intuition remains as an expression of your mind. Then you say, I am strong enough, I can lift this weight. That's what you're talking about. And I will walk this distance. They are talking about the physical body. It is all percolated. I must be there. Without I, they cannot function anywhere. So, Sarire Satijat karma bhavati iti prasasi ahankarascha savasa karta bhokta iti karma. So, its translation will be Sarire, in the body of your being, Jat karma, all the actions you are doing, hand moving, eyes seeing, ear hearing, you are drinking, you are sitting, you are sleeping, whatever activity you do, bhavati takes place, iti prapasyasi, as an observer, you see, it is antakarana, ego, cha, sabhasa, reflected consciousness. There is no light in the water jar. Sun rises, sun's light reflected, you find one reflected sun there inside. And it's a bright sun. But is the sun real? No. Actually, it is a reflection. So, ego is like water, and in that it is reflected, the sun, the consciousness is reflected. That's why our ego becomes alive. So, this is to be understood that's called Vedanta analysis. Who is conscious? Your ears are conscious? No. Reflected consciousness. A dead body, if you touch his ear and pull, look at that. If the dead body, you go and touch his ear, and he will not say, "Oh, what are you doing?" But do it to me now, I'll be reacting. Tell there is a consciousness, but this consciousness is not limited in the ear. It is been coming down, down, down into the body, and a part of the body is this. It is to be meditated. This subject is a deep subject. You have to concentrate and focus and think. Think what is happening in your own body. That's why Vedanta does not ask you to believe something. And normally, all the religion will say, what is your faith? What is your belief system? It is no belief system. It is a rational thinking. You think and give me the response. How you are breathing? What is the cause of your breath? The heart is beating. Why the heart is beating? No, there is some prana. What is the prana? What is the energy? Where the energy comes? I eat something. I eat something. That why that even you can put something in the mouth of a dead body, and there is some food. Why he does not see? Why he does not talk? So question yourself. So what is the reality behind? That's why you have to move one step and deeper step. It's a very intellectual inquiry. So it is not to just say that I believe something, but it is the analytical mind will find out that it is a rational thing. You cannot deny it. You cannot deny. Reflected consciousness gives us the validity of our activities, of my thinking, my understanding, my misunderstanding. That's also given. My misunderstanding is also a reflected consciousness. Water is white, clean water, dirty water. The reflection will be different. You take a yellow water, put some yellow color in the water, the reflection will be different. Blue, it will be different. But break it. Where is the reflected? The sun is the sun. These are all mental. So that's why this Jnani, though we see that they have a body and he is performing some action, Savasa, but they are not doing anything bhokta, they are not the enjoyer or experiencer of the karma, good or bad. No. Atra karma of this action. So running translation would be like this. The actions you observe in a Brahmajnani are done by the ego. What is the ego? That ego illumined by consciousness. Imagine a sun and there is a pot and in that water, and that water reflection is happening. You till the water, the sun is moving. Huh? So all activities are because of that. If ego is gone, then there is no reflection, there is no action, there is no good effect, bad effect, nothing.
So when they talk about the koshas,
So these are the koshas.
There's Annamaya kosha,
Pranamaya,
Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha,
Vijnana,
Vijnana, that's like
and Ananda. Ananda is the ego.
Anandamaya kosha.
Anandamaya
Kosh.
kosha. Anandamaya kosha, other name is Ahankar.
Okay, this is
It falls within the five.
okay.
Annamaya means the body. Pranamaya is the energy I was talking about. Pranamaya. Manomaya is the mind. Understanding, firm conviction, intellectually, that is called the Vijnanamaya. And Anandamaya kosha is equal to Ahankar. Same five koshas we are talking about.
So the original, the reflection is in the Ananda.
First Anandamaya kosha.
First in the Anandamaya kosha.
Yeah. We have drawn the diagram many times, but people forget. If
So Anandamaya kosha would be like where the I am stands.
Anandamaya is the I.
I am.
Hey, this is like this. The inside is the consciousness, no? The center, you may not see very well. Internally, if you think what is in me, that consciousness. That consciousness is not located only here, it is everywhere. But for example, take it that in your heart there is consciousness. That consciousness is covered by ego, Anandamaya kosha. Then next kosha is the intelligence, buddhi, vijnanamaya. Then next kosha is the mind. Mind gets lighted because of the inner light of consciousness going through. And then comes your physical body, prana, energy body, and then the physical body. So this is the consciousness as if it is percolating till this, it comes to the gross one through our finger. My finger is moving. It is conscious, as if it is conscious. No, it can move. It is not like a stone. I can move it this way, I can move it that way. But how it is happening? This reflected consciousness. It is coming from there itself. Original conscious self, reflected, coming to the body. And body, you can say neuron. You can talk differently also. It comes to the neuron, then all the connection of nerve system, and they are giving the instruction from there, and it is coming finger moving, mouth talking, eyes seeing. So it is transmitted to the brain. If you say the physical science, it comes to the brain, and brain is the computer engine, computer, and set in such a way it dictates everything. The order is coming from inside. It happens so fast. I ask you one question, you respond it. How it happens? It goes so quickly through your eardrum, to the nervous system, to this brain, and brain sending some message. It goes to the mind goes to the buddhi goes to the ego, and it comes back quickly, getting the order of the ego. Yes, this is this. Say this, do this. It comes so fast, like computer. You ask for Google search. Ah, 1 million, what is called? Search engine has already searched 1 million areas and give you the nutshell. So this is nothing. They have designed seeing this function here. So this is the reaction. Actually, the consciousness is playing such a vast thing. And now it is a consciousness study, is a very serious study in the universities people are doing. But we can easily think very seriously. It is meditation, spirituality is meditation of the truth. Now I understand. Is my body the consciousness? Consciousness belongs to the body? No. It belongs somewhere else. But it is borrowed. Each person is giving you $1,000 loan. That's why this loan continues for some days. And loan, when it is gone, this body drops. So these are called reflected consciousness. And because it is reflected consciousness, then we do karma. Then this body suffers. But if it is not, this body is not there, reflected consciousness is not there, Brahmajnani does not feel I am the body. Then Ramakrishna never felt I am the body. Swami Turiyananda never felt that I am the body. No. Vivekananda, most of the time, was beyond body idea. You know the story? One day he was making back and forth, eh? And there is a mirror, big mirror, and Vivekananda was standing there for some time, looking in the reflection of his own body, no? And then again coming back, and again going, and again standing. Ah. So some of the devotees thought, oh, he talks so much, but you see how he likes his own features. That's why he's standing before the mirror. And to remove the doubt of that lady, she said, oh, I was trying to remember my face, but I could not. As I turned, I forget my face. That means he is beyond ego. Leaving the body is functioning, but he is not in the body. He said, I tried to remember, that's why I'm watching very clearly. This is my eyebrow, this face, this is these features. But as I turn, I forget everything because they have no ego idea. That is the spiritual people, Brahmogyanis live in that consciousness. We see that they are doing something, but there is no ego in them. And no, where there is no ego, they are the best people in the world. Egoless people. All struggle starts my ego and your ego. Who will survive? My ego, of course. If not, I will give a feast. I will learn fight. I will go to court. I will do I. I will change the world. I will do this. And I. And see, by doing I, they battered themselves. But those are these. Look at Christ. Look at Buddha. Ego, no ego, zero ego. That's why they did tremendous work. The whole world is benefited thousands of years on. So this is the egoless person's work. So the translation is because of your being in the body, the actions you observe in the Gyani actually done by ego. Not ego. Ego cannot do anything. Ego illumined by the light of consciousness. And is the doer and the enjoyer of all action. That ego enjoys. I enjoyed, no? I had a good sleep. I got a good meal. I had good ice cream. Oh, today's meal is so bad. So I is experiencing the joy or suffering. Who enjoys it? I enjoy, is it not? I suffer. That's it. I is the enjoyer. I is the sufferer. But for a Brahmajnani, this I is zero. So there is no question of this enjoyment and fun or suffering of this world, but they live in that eternal joy, eternal sweetness, eternal love. That's why even in cross, they can bless others. No? So that is the point. They are not touched by this. Now, next verse. You see, we are in a very difficult area, very serious Vedanta analysis. People do this at this point. It's very high Vedanta now. Shakshina bhashyati sarvam. Shakshina bhashyati sarvam. Gyani shakshi shayam prava. Gyani shakshi shayam prava. Sangasparso tato nasto. Sangasparso tato bhanuval loka karmavi. Bhanuvat loka karmavi. Sakshina bhasyate sarvam. That Sakshi who is behind the ego. Who is behind ego consciousness? That we term another way Sakshi. Sakshi means witness. Who is the witness? I witness everything. I slept well. I ate. I had the breakfast. I had the supper. I had the lunch. I didn't have meal today. I am suffering today. I am in happiness. That is the Shakshi witness. And that witness is with us all the time. It started in the morning, till now it is here. We go to sleep. When you sleep, I slept. You are there, Sakshi, witnesses. Someone in you is observing day and night 24 hours, 365 days, till you are born, till you will die. You always say, I. When I was 5 years old, I fell down and I broke my arm. Huh? Your eye, you remember there is the eye. It is different from today's eye. The same eye. You are carrying that eye all the time. But you never know. You think that, but the body has changed. 5 years old body and now 70 years old body. Where is this any parallel there? It has become old, it has become grey, it has ears are hearing less, teeth has fallen. So what is the similarity with the 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old body? There's no correction. But I, in my childhood, I in my youth, I in my school, I in my college, in my workplace, I is always what witnessing everything going on. And that I is always with you. That's called the I, a Sakshi, witness I, witness consciousness. Sakshina Bhasyate. And that witness consciousness is the light behind us. And that is reflected again, come to the point. That Sakshi reflecting on ego, Anandamaya Kosh. And then it is reflecting on the buddhi, intellectual concept, intellectual body. Then it is in the mental body. Then it is coming into prana, energy body. Then it is coming to the physical body. Remember, 5 koshas. If you understand this 5 point, then you understand Vedanta. We are a mixture of these 5 coverings over the conscious entity inside. That conscious entity, the burner, in the heat, in the oven, that flame is all the time here. And that is hitting the pot, hitting the water, hitting the potato, hitting the rice, hitting any other item. It is like, similarly, it is hitting the ego, Anandamaya Kosha first. Behind that I is making, I know, I saw, I heard, I did, I didn't do it. It's true. You are blaming me. I didn't do it. So I consciousness is there. That's called the Sakshi, witness. And that never sleeps. In deep sleep, he is awake because you say, I had a good sleep. How can you say you have a good sleep unless you have observed it? Without experience, you cannot say, I have experienced. Apparently, when you are sleeping, you are not aware of it. You are not aware of it. But somebody in you is witnessing that sleep also. That's why you can say afterwards, I slept last night very deeply. How do you know you have slept? Unless it is a logical conclusion. Unless you have experienced that, you cannot have a memory. Come to the point. You cannot have any memory unless you have experienced it. I have not got the dinner yet. Huh? The dinner, I have not got it. No? That is your experience. That's why you can remember. My dinner, normally I take at 7 o'clock. I have no dinner today. How do you know you have no dinner? You have experienced that no dinner at 7 o'clock. That's why you now say, I have no dinner at that time. So without experience, you cannot say, I was in the car at 10 o'clock driving in this freeway. How can you say now? Because you that time did that at 10 o'clock and somebody in you have observed that story and that memory is being recalled afterwards. Similarly, in sleep also, when you are sleeping, who knows that you have slept? How do you say, I slept well? And you also say, oh, I could not sleep all night. I was tossing back and forth. That means there is somebody observing your sleep. So that is the Sakshi. Know this terminology, witness. That we call witness consciousness. And that witness is all the time awake, 365 days, every day, 24 hours, 365 days, all through your life. The day you are born, day you will die. And beyond, of course, there, I'm not going to that. We are talking about our present experience period. Therefore, it says that because of your being in the body, the actions you observe are actually done by the ego, illumined by consciousness, and is the doer and the enjoyer of all actions. And now I read the verse number 9. What a question. No. 9 I have read the verse. I should read the meaning also. So everything, 9 verse, Shakshina Bhashyate, everything in the world, every experience is illumined by the witness consciousness I talked about so long. The knower of truth himself is the self-effulgent witness. Those who have known, I am that Brahman, they live in that, identified with the consciousness. They never mix with this side. But because we are ignorant, we identify with our body, mind, our good dream, bad dream, our good action, bad action, our love, our hatred. We are all get mixed up and we get the effect of those things. So therefore, for a Jnani means the knower of truth, like the sun, there is no touch of attachment and contact with the worldly, mundane activities. Though they do the mundane activities, worldly activities, but they are not at all touched by them. They are beyond that. It's a great study. Just think about that. There's a new thought. We never think in this way. No? Did you think? Did you ever thought that way? That in me, who is functioning? Who is observing all this phenomena of life's experience? Who is that guy? Where is he sitting? Where is God? Who gives me the power to speak? Makes me eat and digest? All this thing happening. Who is that? That is this consciousness. And that is the witness consciousness. And when we identify with the witness consciousness, nothing of this world will affect us. Because we cannot do that, we come down to the intellect, to the mind, to the your emotions, to your energy body and to physical body. So we suffer because our identification goes this way down. And they don't suffer because their identification goes to the consciousness itself. That is me only. I'm not all this. Okay, so I end here today and have some questions. So we shall address them. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Next Tuesday there will be no class because Shivaratri.
So 2 announcements. Tomorrow there will be a Gita gospel class given by one of our nun, Shiva Prana. And next 1st of March, 28th is this month. The 1st of March, there will be Shiva night here. We do the performance of worship. So this class will be cancelled that day.
So next Wednesday we
Next
gospel class.
Next Tuesday, no class. Today is 22, no?
Yeah.
So see how fun. 22, 22.
You know what? 22.
02, 22, 22.
Tuesday.
Huh?
Tuesday.
No. You see, today is all 22, 22.
And it's also Tuesday.
Also the Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
But you know what? If you turn it upside down, it's
Ah.
also 22.
Oh,
Somebody told me you can put it, read it this way,
This
or
way.
turn it upside down.
exactly. Okay, so what is the question then?
2 questions from today and 3 questions from last Wednesday.
So first, give the old questions.
Okay.
Which is the old?
Today's question. This is from these are from last Wednesday.
This is this.
These are from today and these are from last Wednesday.
Okay, Acha. So one question today: does the same soul come back? Is there anything called individual soul? Since the soul is not fractional. Yes, individual soul we are talking about. Individual soul like me. If I die, I will come back again. Because I am my body-mind identity. Not this physical body will not remain. But like your dream body. In your dream you have a body. Is it not? In your dream, when you dream in the night, do you have a body in your dream? So that is the body. That will come and that will go. So yes, individual soul has individual body.
But what is it that's coming back?
Coming back is the mind. This physical body remains. 5 koshas, now you remember.
Yeah.
Only the physical, annamaya, the physical body remains. Your prana, mana, pranamaya, manomaya, anandamaya, abhijnanamaya, anandamaya. These 4 will be packaged. That will remain. It will come back again and enter into a physical body.
That package remains until liberation.
And that will go on until we get liberated. Annamaya, all this physical body, remains here and we put into the fire, cremation ground. But who goes out? That is your dream body. Think what you have your dream. You have a dream in your hand, you have your dream in your eyes, you eat there, you see, not the physical food, but subtle food. That's why you call the subtle body. So subtle body remains, all these 4 other. That means your prana body remains, energy body, your mind remains, your intellect remains, your ego remains. And Brahman, of course, is there. Otherwise,
And what about the witness?
huh? Witness, of course, is there. That's why even some child born, they can remember their past life. Many in India we have seen, they're talking about their past life. They're asking their mom, take me that side, that side, that side. And they didn't pay much attention. But as they grew, constantly the child is saying, take me there, take me there. And they went there. And as soon as he went there, the child started telling, there is a room on that I used to live in that room. There is this side room. There was my mom, dad used to do this. And this is the kitchen. And you go exactly, they find everything. A child has not developed. But we mostly forget. But some people also remember. Okay. Second question is today's question. If consciousness is the only reality, then there cannot be anything other than it. And that consciousness has manifested everything, including the individual. Is the consciousness now wanting to realize? The consciousness is consciousness, even now. When I know it, when I do not know. But I am now saying, my hand is working, I am working. It says, I am giving not credit to the consciousness, but I am taking my credit as I am doing. But your I has no power to do without consciousness. Again, the example I have given, the pot and pan and the food items inside cannot be heated unless there is a heat consciousness. Compare the heat with the consciousness. And pot pan is the body, is the pot pan. Pot cannot be hot. Rice cannot be hot. Potato cannot be hot. Water cannot be hot. Even your spoon cannot be hot if there is no heat behind. So this is the point. Yes, we are conscious all the time, but we do not know it. And the Gyanis, the knowers of truth, they know it. Difference between us is only that. I am working, I am talking by the power of that consciousness, but I do not know. But only the people who have realized the truth we are talking about, they know, they see, they feel. And therefore, they manifest the consciousness. Everything is manifestation of consciousness. Even a crawling worm is a manifestation of consciousness. Even the tree at the table is a manifestation of consciousness. But where is greater manifestation and lesser manifestation? 0-watt bulb and 1,000-watt bulb. All are bulbs. 60-watt bulb, 100-watt bulb, 200-watt bulb, 500-watt bulb, 1,000-watt bulb. All are bulbs. But behind them, the electricity same. Electricity being the same, bulbs manifestation is different. So this is the only, this whole world is a manifestation. And manifestation is different in different levels. And therefore your question that if consciousness is the only reality, then there cannot be anything other than it. True. There is nothing but consciousness. That is the, with the beating of the drum, the ancient sages of the Upanishads, all the saintly people are talking about that. There is nothing but God. They say different language. There is nothing but Christ. Christ in the front, Christ in the back, Christ in the left, Christ in the right, Christ below, Christ above. Atma is below, Atma is above. Our Upanishad says God is everywhere. Atman, consciousness is everywhere. But that consciousness has manifested everything. Again, it has manifested because I don't see that consciousness. I don't see the gold. I look at the ornament, design of the ornament. Golden ornament, two side aspects is there. One is the design side, another is the gold aspect. Some see the design aspect, forgetting the gold aspect. But Brahmagyan is no, it is the design and the thing, both are same. Gold. We have to realize that. Acha. Last Wednesday, Stanmore has a question. I could not, I'm going to this 3 questions last time. Is it so that even Ramakrishna lives only in my mind? Yes, Ramakrishna lives in your mind, but in a pure mind. But when your mind will be so pure, then Ramakrishna will be infinite, all pervaded, Satchidananda. Understand this point, please? That yes, Ramakrishna is in our mind at this present state, because if we think and mind becomes pure, you can meditate on him more and more. And then as you meditate more, you will understand. Ramakrishna's body will be effulgent, and then it will be expanding into infinite ocean of consciousness. So that mind, in a purer mind, state of mind, this mind when it will be pure by every day meditating on Christ or Buddha, Rama, Ramakrishna, your mind will be pure and pure and pure and pure. And when it will reach the perfect purity, you will see that it's everywhere is that what you're talking about in Vedanta. Consciousness. You term it consciousness, you call it Ramakrishna, you call it Christ consciousness, you call it Buddha consciousness, whatever. Another question. I read that everyone will be liberated someday or other. Are there a finite number of souls? In this infinite creation, how can you say finite? Number is infinite. No. If I ask you, how many ripples are there in the ocean? Limited number of ripples. Infinite number of ripples. What it matters? Ripple comes from the ocean, plays on the ripple, and waves play on the ocean. And after the play, it merges into the ocean. So what's the question of making it finite? There is no finite, because everything comes from Brahman. Brahman is infinite. And you look at the creation, how many stars are there? Can you say it is limited? How many billions, trillions, how many trillions are there? You cannot count it. Even this material manifestation is countless. So what do you think of the jiva, individual soul? There is no limited number. You are thinking that there is 1 trillion souls. Okay, if 10 souls get liberated, then the rest of the people will be ignorant. And gradually one day, all will be full of knowledge. No, that will be, this God's play goes on, but all will be free means Everyone will go through the experience and understand this life cannot give you joy. This limited way of looking at life does not give you peace. You have to find something else to go beyond and to find the truth within. So, this is the lesson. When we learn that, then we feel liberated. Means we become one with the ocean. It matters little. You are part of the ocean, you are dancing on the ocean, or you merge into the ocean. So that will happen. There is no finite number of souls. Say something about Vijnanavad point of view. What is duality of Vedanta? There is no duality of Vedanta. Vedanta is always unity. But when one goes into samadhi, getting out of this duality totally, merges there and comes back, what they see everything is saturated with consciousness. There is nothing but God and God alone. So duality vanishes there. They see the Satchidananda with open eyes. As I give the example again for the ocean and the ocean waves, they see it is ocean. It is ocean water, at the same time ocean. They see it is H2O as also a different shape other than another. Each wave is different, no? Even the flakes, when the snow falls, each flake is different from the other. That's the variety of creation. But they are nothing but snow. So the Brahmaganis see that Brahman everywhere when they come down. That is the Vijnanavad. Vijnana means being saturated. Ramakrishna gave the example. What is Jnana and Vijnana? One who has heard about God, like someone has heard about milk. He is just knowing something hard. Now one saw that milk. He is convinced there is milk. But one has drunk the milk and absorbed the milk in his body. What will happen? He is called the saturated with that knowledge. So Vijnana means getting absorbed in God consciousness. And when that state comes, the whole world changes its views. It is all saturated. There is no unhappiness, there is no misery, there is no loss, there is no pain and death and decay. It's all permeated with one absolute consciousness, like space. Again, another question, could you please discuss the difference between the unripe and ripe ego? That we know. We are all unripe ego. You, me, now, I'm talking, all unripe ego, because that's why we fight. My ego, your ego. Why? I said this. Mine is right. All the conflict in the world, no? Go to your husband-wife relationship, to the friend-to-friend relationship, the office, to the country-to-country relationship. Ego. I am the Soviet in charge. I will conquer this. I am this. So it's all fight. Ego fight. That is the unripe ego. And when it is ripe ego is I am seeing God's play, or devotion, or Jnani, I am that Atman. You also feel I am that Atman. Where is the fight? Who will cry for whom? Who will fight for whom? They are all unified. So therefore, unripe ego is the mature ego. Ripe means mature. Ripe ego is mature ego. This is immature ego. Immature ego thinks my muscle strength, my bank balance, my education, my position, my quality. And ripe ego, I belong to everything. So what shall I fight with? Everything belongs to me. I am that cosmic consciousness. So I have nothing to lose, nothing to gain. I have nothing to compete with anyone. I am greater than you. That question does not come because it is matured state. So that is the right ego. Is the rule of ethics and code of morality are eternal? No. Code of morality varies. Even today, In one society you go, that is called code of conduct. Another society you go, that is very unethical. No? So, no. These are dependent on the society's condition. To make a society better society, our lawmakers create certain rules so that everyone is protected, everyone feels more freedom like that. So there is no eternal, but eternal morality is this truthfulness. This is eternal values. It does not matter you are a person in Islam religion, or you are in a Christian religion, or a Hindu religion, or Buddhist religion. Truthfulness, that is the eternal values. That should be kept. Honesty, not stealing, keeping the mind pure, not to find fault with others. These are eternal values. But how you apply it in your life according to the social condition, that will differ. So the things which were outright immoral previously are gaining acceptance today, and traditional values are being termed as outdated. Yes, always it will happen. Society is always changing. The values which we got when we were children with our parents, if we look at the society, we cannot think that is no more here. That is gone. But who will say society is always changing? It will again change. 1960s and 70s, what in America is not the trend in town now today. It will change. In every country it is changing. So society is a mobile thing and it will change accordingly. But the eternal values, the ethical values, these values will remain the same. Truthfulness, honesty, purity, love for others, sacrifice for the good of others. These will remain the same. I understand that with passing time, values are bound to erode in society. So, do I look at the present scenario like that and stick to my own value and belief in spite of what others are doing? That is the best thing. You keep your own values, eh, matching with the scriptures, matching with the holy people, what Ramakrishna said, what Christ said, what Buddha said. Keep those as eternal values. And that we have to practice. Another question, just like we use a mirror to see a person standing behind us, similarly, can we say that when we have a vision of God through a purified mind, it is the reflection of their Nitya? Yeah, we can say that. When mind becomes pure, then we can, like a mirror, as we see in a mirror, but that is not mirror, it's a mind mirror. Through the mirror of the pure mind, you see the reflection. So when we have a vision of God through a purified mind, when mind becomes pure, it is the reflection of their Nitya. Yes, that is the reflection of my eternal home. Yes. Another question. We suffer when our identification goes down to the body mind. We don't suffer when we identify as weakness. But when the body pain is intense, how to remain as weakness? Yeah, that's a great question. That is to be practiced. Maybe I will fail. But truth does not change for that. It is scientific reason is that my body is in aches and pains. So if doctor give me some anesthesia, I see for the hospice care people, doctors allow to reduce the pain. They can adjust. How? You adjust the medicine, you don't feel pain. Pain is going on in the body. That means this is external means to control by medicine. Internal process is that withdraw the mind and put it in God. If you intensely think of something else, you will not feel the body pain. Does it not happen? That your backache is there, but you are intrigued in watching a TV, and you're very interested in that. By that time, you forgot the pain. So it is possible we have to practice spiritual discipline, that we can then feel even the body will suffer, but I will not. Another question, the identification shifts to the body at that time. What is the way to stay as witness? To shift it to the witness. It is going to the body. But if we can pray, not pray, analyze, my mind is going to the body, therefore I can feel the pain here. But if I withdraw the mind and have the capacity to put it in God, then it will not be here. Body will suffer, but I will not suffer. So how to do that? In this rigorous practice. Day and night think, I am the Atman. Shift the identity to the inner consciousness. Day and night, a part of the mind should be telling me, this is outside, here is my real home. Let me go back to my own home and feel that there is the infinite source of joy and bliss within you. We are searching here and there, but it is more here. So practice, that's why meditation, do hours and hours of meditation. Sing some glories of God so that your mind gets tuned to the God consciousness. Read this type of book so that mind is involved into this type of thinking. So this is a rigorous practice. Okay? More practice, more understanding will come. Okay, so thank you all, and we'll meet you again
Can I ask a question?
next week. Yes.
Is Ramakrishna the body?
Huh?
Is Ramakrishna the body?
Body?
Is Ramakrishna a body?
Body to us, but he is the expression of the infinite. Ramakrishna is not a man, then there are so many Ramakrishna. You are a Rama, I am the same. Body wise, I am the same. I have a body, I have hand, feet, eyes, and he also that. We are not worshipping that man, Ramakrishna, but that man who has lost his manhood and entered into the divine and stayed in that divine consciousness all the time. Read the gospel, every page you will find. What was he? God intoxicated. He can touch you and give you illumination. Even now you can feel the presence of God. So that is Ramakrishna. And like Christ, no. Do you mean that Christ the physical body? No. That's why resurrection is the idea. Resurrection is out of the body, getting out of the body. So we should think Buddha, Christ, Rama, whatever we think, we'll have to think that they are not the physical, but they came into the physical body out of compassion, but they are the infinite spirit. Okay, thank you.